Welcome back after a little bit of a break to the Battery Podcast. I'm Aidan,
I'm Jack.
And I'm Casey.
and we're glad to be back after a little bit of a pause there. I don't know, the All-Star weekend, you just get out of rhythm, because we're not gonna do a preview of that, and then it just, it's the fourth too, so we were traveling. So took a little bit away. I think Jack and I both went somewhere. Casey, did you travel anywhere for the fourth?
No, I stayed local.
All right. That's not bad either. Yeah, so Jack, you were on the
Boston's a great city for the
Oh yeah,
fourth.
yeah. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I was in Long Island of all places, so like,
Gross.
yeah, disgusting. It was so weird. I saw someone wearing an island, like a New York Islanders hat, out and about. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen an Islanders fan aside from watching Islanders games on TV when they play the Bruins. So that was a little bit of a, just it felt like I was seeing not a unicorn, but just it was a rare sighting.
hmm
'Cause that's just not one of those big fan bases that you hear about in the NHL or sports in general.
They're popular on the island though.
For sure.
It's Anna's best friend from college grew up on Long Island, so they're Islanders season ticket fan or season ticket holders. And so the we went there once when she ran the New York City
Okay.
Marathon and we stayed with them. And so definitely saw some Islanders fans out and about
I would
when
hope.
you're there.
Yeah, but I definitely, I mean, now that I think of it, I'm not sure I've even seen a Rangers hat like around Boston at the very least, but I know for sure they have a much
Well,
bigger.
I hope not.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen Yankees hats for better or worse around Boston, but that's
That's usually like the European tourist that just thinks it's a fashion statement. Like
yeah.
it's never a legit Yankees hat.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of
Like
international students at the school I work at also have Yankees hats. I'm like, I know to you, it's just I went to New York, but you're going to school in
it's
Boston.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And the worst, they probably also own a Red Sox hat.
Oh yeah.
You know, one time I was that we're going so off topic here,
We are promise we're going to talk about lacrosse soon.
but it was this year, so it was not too long ago. The Yankees were in town playing the Red Sox, and went out for a walk, and I was walking down my street, and I was walking, in the direction of Fenway. Still, I'm in Back Bay, so not near the ballpark, but heading west. And I saw a family walking past me, and it was a mom, a dad, and a guy, probably college age kid. And the dad and the son were wearing matching Red Sox hats, like clearly brand new that they had just bought with like a sticker, like because it still had the sticker on it. My assumption is that they might have been like going to the game and parked and were walking back this way to get dinner or something or go check out downtown, whatever, because it was like the afternoon still. But anyways, so they both have brand new Red Sox hats on, and I see the dad is just holding in his hand a Yankees hat, and it just like made me laugh so hard because my head immediately went to he probably just showed up like for a game and then was told no, you can't wear that, and then the both of them were like, oh, okay, we'll get Red Sox hats, like sorry, didn't know. So that at least some people learn
Yeah.
once they come here is the moral of the story.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, I get it. I do agree. The Yankees hat is much bigger of a symbol of just the city and whatever than it is to being a fan of the team. And certainly I want everyone who visits our lovely city of Boston to come away from it with a Red Sox hat or, Bruins hat, something like that. But it does,
Cannon's hat.
yeah, ideally Cannon's hat, but those are a little hard to come by just out and about. Um, anyway, back to the Cannons. So quite a bit has happened since we last spoke. I mean, just to briefly touch on the All-Star game, the scores haven't been as drastic in recent years, which is I don't know, probably, a little more competitive, which is great. I want to give all the props to Matt Campbell for shooting faster than Owen Grant, still with a short stick. Hitting 112 with a shorty is frankly incredible. I know that ran like I think Rabel hit 111, but just we're so used to seeing these like it's just a long bowl contest at this point. And I think that when we talked to him last year, I asked if he wanted to do it with a pole or could do it with a pole. Um, hope he can do that at some point soon because it does just kind of feel like it's Newman or Hasek or whoever's to lose if they got that extra basically 2 feet of leverage. Um, and then the sad news, the Cannons just demolished, absolutely like just basically beaten in every facet of the game by the Atlas, 17-11. I don't know. Do you guys want to have any thoughts about this before we move on to the preview of the upcoming game?
I mean, Casey, I don't know if you have any thoughts, but uh, yeah, I'll let you go first because my thought kind of leads in directly to the preview.
Well, um, it's pretty disappointing to see. I do have quite a few notes from right after we played that game. But I don't know how much we want to like really dive into it
Yeah,
a
I don't
minute.
need to dwell on it.
yeah. We don't want to
Right.
make this an hour-long episode too. It just the defense and offense both look worse than last year, and I really
Hmm.
didn't think that was going to be the case. Um, I don't know exactly what it is. I mean, it's two new coordinators, so you got to, you know, think that maybe something about that scheme is just not working. Um, Schellenberger gets the most goals he's ever had in a game, I think five, and then plus two assists. Um, yeah, I mean, poor Colin Kirst again. His numbers don't look good, but just so many of those were open looks from in tight that just no one is going to save. You could probably
Right.
put two goalies in the net, and most of those would still go in.
I also think that our defense just needs to step up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't know if it's a communication thing or if it's scheme, but there are just far too many like two guys slide, and so then that leaves someone open behind, or leaves two guys open behind, or just guys getting beat clean. I mean, there's that one highlight, and I didn't see how he wound up. I guess he just got trapped. But Marcus Holman is covering Connor Schellenberger at X, and like, well, yeah, of course,
I
Schellenberger.
saw that. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you got trapped on defense. I remember it happened last year against the Outlaws, and you just tackled Brennan O'Neill. And yeah, he takes the holding penalty, but that's better than a guaranteed goal. Um, Schellenberger's a little bit of a tougher guy to pin down. A little shiftier and a little smaller than Brennan. Um, yeah, but I mean, Jack, let's get your thoughts and switch it to the preview against the Outlaws because I really don't want to dwell on that game any longer than we have to.
Yeah, no. So I'm not gonna say much. Mine is very superficial, but just you think about the season so far. We're 6 games in, 3-3, but good win against the Atlas to start the year. Good win against the Archers, week two. That Holman Superman right there. All right, 2-0, feeling good. You go into Philly, drop one. That stinks. But then you come back, beat Maryland. Yeah, I think the Cans were, I think they scored like one goal in the fourth quarter with like 11 minutes left or something. So you obviously petered out at the end, and maybe that seems to be a sign. It was more foreboding than you wanted to believe at the time because hey, you still won. Cannons are 3-1, best team in the league, and then put up a stinker against Carolina out in California, All-Star break. Another stinker against New York last weekend. And now we're going into a matchup with the Outlaws, who now look like the best team in the league. And the what did Dan Arestia call it? The Teforaton is
Yeah.
actually working now. Shocker. Four Teforaton winners make a good offense, but obviously it seemed like it wasn't clicking at first, but now they do seem to be clicking. So just all that to say, I was riding real high. Uh, and then I'm just like, to be honest, like I'm a little concerned.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
Uh,
very concerned.
here, like
Hmm.
I don't know, like you still gotta believe in the boys, but it's certainly the season is really shifted in what feels like a very short amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you if you lose this game, then you're 3-4,
Yeah. And
and
if
like
Maryland wins, they still have a pretty good goal. I mean, it's not as good because they did wind up losing by, I think, 7 last week to the Outlaws. Um, but they're still +5. The Cannons are -5. So, like, they're going to have to be a game better than Maryland, um, probably the rest of the way. And geez,
homecoming gonna come be a big night.
yeah, like unless one of these two teams really continues on a like if Maryland doesn't win another game until that, then I feel pretty good about the Cannons. But yeah, like that game is we thought the last game of the year, Cannons Whip Snakes, that game was going to have stakes. That's probably going to decide who goes to the playoffs and who doesn't. I'm hoping the Cannons will still be in a position to go to Champ Series, but I don't know. Honestly, after how beat up they got last year, I wouldn't mind if they didn't finish top four, particularly because you can still go to the playoffs if you're the 5 or 6 overall in the standings.
Mhm.
Um, I just feel like we know Campbell wasn't fully healthy. Trainer, I don't know if that knee is still fully healthy. Um, so
I can't like I know it seems to be, but just given that he's played, but the year he's had compared to last year, and I didn't even think about it until someone, I forget where I read it, pointed out that he hasn't had near the year that he had last year. And it's only then when it dawned on me because I haven't thought about him this year. Like that's how just kind of under the radar. I get not under the radar is not the right word because that makes it seem like he's being underrated, but like he was a stud last year, but he just hasn't really shown up much,
are
at least in the way that he did.
you talking about Trainer or Campbell?
Trainer.
Yeah, no, so I wound up getting those new cards that the PLL put out, and in their little Game Breakers mini series, they have a Jeff Trainer one. Uh,
Hmm.
and just reading this off, I mean, I had it on hand. So it talks about his fantasy points, whatever, but he had the most fantasy points of any SSDM in the league. I believe he had the most like real points. He had 10. He had 4 1-point goals, a two, 4 assists, 6 caused turnovers, 14 ground balls. Um, and
Like that's a well-rounded lacrosse player.
yeah, and he's played a lot. He's playing more defense. I mean, he did score against the Atlas, but yeah, he does not look like the clear snub that he was for SSDM of the year last year.
Yeah.
Certainly would not, unless if he gets 10 points in the last 4 games of the year, sure, maybe he'll be in that discussion. But um, that feels like another area where the Cannons have taken a little bit of a step back. I feel like definitely the brightest spot is Owen Grant, where he feels like the front runner for LSM of the year. So I'm very happy about that. Although Ben Ware with he's quietly putting together, not quietly, I mean he had that 2-pointer last week, but feels like him and Grant are probably the front runners for that. But yeah, just they don't look as good, they don't look as sharp. And maybe switching officially, formally to this prediction, like I'm really, really scared about this defense defending the Fort Tewaaraton winners, like and I'm even more scared about this offense trying to beat Logan McNaney because the
Mm.
Outlaws winning ways, like yeah, the offense is clicking as well with Bernhardt kind of getting his lacrosse legs back under him, but it really started with McNaney taking over in cage, and it feels like you got to get him moving. You got to string a lot of passes together. You hopefully you get volume of shots too, just with his save percentage being so high. Your hope that you can get, 30 something shots on goal. Or, like the Redwoods had 50 something shots against the Chaos when they beat them earlier this year. Like that feels like the type of number you need to beat this Outlaws, or beat McNaney specifically. Um, and then probably the biggest part of this game, the Pat Cavanaugh revenge game. This feels like he's going to be so motivated to come out and put up 10 points against the team that I'm sure feels didn't believe in him. Um, and honestly, like based on the year they're having, I'd rather have Pat Cavanaugh than Asher Nolting at this point. I'm not sure about as a person, but at least as a player, right? Like Asher does not look like the player he was last year or the last 2 years. And Pat Cavanaugh, like he wasn't fully healthy last year, so it's not really fair to compare last year and this year. Like he missed a bunch of games, but I forget if it was the PLL or the Rough Riders or whatever account, but just showed he had like 12 points last year as a rookie, and he's got 20 something already. Um, with the Outlaws, and he had 8, I think it was last week. Um, yeah, he
What
is.
if though? But we only have Owen Grant because we don't have Pat Kavanaugh.
That is
So
true.
if you take, let's say the Ryan Holman says, you know what, Pat, we do believe in you. Boom, Pat Kavanaugh's playing X, and Asher Nolting got shipped off to Denver. And do we get Owen Grant then?
If they traded the same draft
We
pick,
should,
no, they got that
yeah,
pick from the
from the
yeah, they got that pick
Redwoods,
from
but
the
we got the pick
from the
for
Pat Cav
Pat
trade.
Kavanaugh.
Yeah,
So they give us the pick for Asher Nolting, and then we give the pick so we could still get Owen Grant and Pat Kavanaugh. Never mind.
yeah. No, I mean, I don't know if the Outlaws would have taken that as much. I don't know. It is all hypothetical, but yeah, I think Pat.
And yeah, I'm not saying I would have wanted to make that deal. Obviously, as you just said, Pat Kavanaugh has had a better year than Asher. That's a fact. No one's going to dispute that. Not even, Asher would be the first to say that he's not having the year that he should be having. But I still like it's 1 year, so not even a full year. So I like you can't just be like, oh, bad trade. They lost.
Oh, for
They
sure.
screwed that one up. But it certainly doesn't. But as Felger and Maz say, we have a show to do today. We have a podcast to do right now. And it seems like Denver won that deal
Yeah,
right now.
so far. And certainly like they do have the best record in the league. I would be shocked at this point if they didn't go to Champ Series. And I'd be happy for our Rough Riders friends if that happened. Because it
Yeah.
must have been tough going to that and not having your team there. Although I mean it is probably you can be a little bit more of a casual fan, but I mean Jack, how excited were we that championship game?
I mean, that was probably the most electric game I've been to.
Yeah.
Like certainly for lacrosse. Actually, no, I take that back. Homecoming.
Oh yeah.
Last year Philly was incredible, but yeah, no, sports are always more fun when you've got a team to root for.
Yeah. Um, but so I guess my original point, Denver looks good. Like you never know what could happen. Obviously, the Cannons were a better team than the Chaos last year and still lost and only put up 4.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, even if Denver wins the championship this year, that doesn't necessarily mean like Owen Grant could go on to have a great Cannons career. Hopefully the Cannons win multiple championships.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's
Including this year.
yeah.
It's not like we're still in the playoff picture. They're
Oh
still
yeah.
above Maryland.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I just I haven't seen too much hype about it yet from the league. I'm curious how heavy they're going to want to go into it. Because there was definitely some bad blood, obviously, between those two. But I know when Pat Cav scores, and I do expect him to score this week, um, he's going to let the defense know. He'll probably let Brian Holman know. Um, and I hope I'm in earshot for it because that is going to be some grade A beef. that'll be going on down in Fairfield this weekend.
Yeah.
Um, let's touch too on the jerseys. So we were all obviously huge fans of the throwbacks last week. The '01 cannons. I was really glad they weren't the porthole.
The
I don't love the
porthole
feel of
jerseys are
that.
horrible.
Yeah, I never liked wearing them in like youth lacrosse. I think my high school team freshman year we had to wear them as well. Um, I bought the one that I bought just because I want to rock all the Canon swag I can, but I don't like wearing it. So super glad that they went with really that like as close to the original throwback as they could.
There's
And
also just a lot of bad designs from the other teams.
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, I didn't
The
really
the,
like any of
the
them.
Atlas one, I hated that the numbers were different sizes, especially the
Yeah.
eights were like half the size of the other number, which was stupid.
Yeah, I was finding myself
The
getting really confused with who is who, and that shouldn't happen because I pretty much know everyone's number. Um,
Philadelphia, purple and green,
yeah, I guess that's trying to get the Eagles on there, but
it
yeah,
didn't work.
Cannons and Outlaws
But the
won.
cannons were beauties.
Yeah,
Oh God, those things were gorgeous.
yeah, and seeing that MLL Outlaws look again, it really felt like I was watching the
I
time travel.
I wish that they put this Cannons Outlaws game last weekend and we got to
Yeah,
see those two
that would have been so
uniforms
good.
together.
Yeah,
Although technically, like the Cannons didn't have those uniforms by the time the Outlaws joined. What would be sick is like the Paul Rabel era Cannon jersey with those Outlaws jerseys in a
yeah.
game.
Um, Yeah. So I think huge difference on
Anyways,
that. I did like the throwbacks across the board a little better than last year's. Definitely, but I like the Carolina one better because they just said state. That was that was a dumb choice. I'll say that.
yeah,
Um, and then now we got the indigenous jerseys. So I feel like when they came out last year, we were saying, "Oh my God, these are gorgeous. Can they just wear these every week?" And I guess they listened because they did use all the same logos as last year, just basically switching up the colors. So the teams that wore white last year have a darker color. I think the exception is Denver, who wore black. Their unis are orange this time around. Ooh, we're going to see a blue and orange in
yeah.
Fair.
No, I saw that. That it's not just color and white. I did the math, and it's like champ series where they just like have two drastically different colors. And like I get it, it works, but it's not going to look good on the field to just see two. You need a white in
Yeah,
there.
it's just I'm gonna. Where did they post
I,
it? Yeah, there we go. So we got what's it? Yeah, cannons Outlaws, blue, orange, and then we got Atlas Redwoods is going to be blue and brown. Yeah,
that's going to be horrible.
we do have two other white jerseys though. So it's Philly and Maryland is black and white, and then Carolina and Utah is red and white. So those ones,
Those games are fine.
yeah. Um, so matchup aside, what do you guys feel about one using the same logos as last year, and then two this blue versus the white?
I mean, the logos were an absolute home run last
Yeah.
year. Like they should never change the indigenous heritage jerseys. That should just be what they wear every single year.
Yeah, I do
And
think I agree with you.
I think that, it makes sense then to just have the swap them in and out. I mean, like you could argue that, you have just one color and you keep trying it out, but just for matchup purposes, and like it's pretty easy to just flip flop those. So like it's cool that now they have a blue version just every year if they can just rotate between white and blue. And
Yeah.
then this whole like brown for the redwoods and these other, I know you said the color matchups aside, but if every team could just have a white and a color and you just have color versus white in those exact uniforms every single year, like that weekend is always going to smack.
Yeah. I think I was slightly disappointed because the league they generally have had pretty big jersey changes every year. And so this has been the year with the fewest, because basically every team's regular jerseys are unchanged. And now these colors, like or the logos and whatever for Indigenous are also unchanged. But I agree with you. They're so good. If this is the standard, I'm happy with that.
The one thing I will say, I noticed that they've got the Indigenous Heritage Collection up on the shop. It looks like the Canads are going to be wearing red shorts with them.
Hmm.
Don't like that. That's that's gonna be weird.
Oh, especially with the orange on the Outlaws. But
Yeah, like it, it's one thing to like if you don't want to do the same color top bottom, that's all right. But one of those colors then has to be white, or I
yeah,
guess you could get away with like a black, but like it has to be a neutral color. Like with those navy jerseys, you could do white shorts or navy shorts. The red shorts, no, because they're bright red too. That like it's not gonna be pretty. And this game's on ABC, and they're gonna have blue and red against orange and whatever. Like, get they're the league's gonna get roasted on Twitter. Like, I'm sorry, but it's not good for your eyeballs. Speaking of not good for your eyeballs, can we talk about those drones last weekend?
oh
Oh,
my God. Yeah. I'm glad.
we tried something new, and I hope that that's the last time we'll see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I'll be there in person in Fairfield this weekend, so I'm glad I won't have to see it. Please let me know if they use it. But I feel like I definitely
There's
saw,
not a shot
no, I
that
saw quite a
there's
few
not a
comments
shot.
that it didn't work. Yeah, the fisheye, the quality of the camera itself wasn't as good. I think it's moving too fast and too much.
You can't tell what's going on.
Yeah. And your
Like that, it's
orientation of the
cool to
field.
yeah, it would be cool if you filmed that and then put out like a highlight, it's a check out this goal from this unique angle kind of thing. But
Yeah.
to try to actually watch that in real time, like I'm like, what the hell is going on right now?
Yeah, I think the sport is probably a little too unpredictable. And as well, I said that just the quality of the camera, the lens itself is not good enough. Um,
Yeah.
some scripted stuff probably. You could probably do a really cool like long clearing pass with like the drone following the ball. That'd probably look cool. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
There's
I think
there's just too much going on.
pretty much everyone agreed. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
again, if I see one of the Rabels this weekend, I'll let them know. But I'm
Oh,
sure they already know.
I think they've been let know.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely, yeah, saw that on Instagram, YouTube. Pretty much every PLO highlight from last weekend had someone say enough with the drones.
Yeah.
Um, they must have committed to it because even I feel like the response day one was negative enough that I'm a little bit surprised they brought it back for day two of Chicago. Um, but yeah, hopefully that's the first and last time we'll see it, and someone else gets a drone to play with in their free time. Or maybe it was
Yeah.
like a camera crew's personal drone, and there's like, yeah, we can try it. Um, Yeah, I do. I mean, I always give the league credit for being so willing to innovate because I feel like they got to take those risks to
Hmm.
get a bigger spot in the market. But when you take risks, they're not all going to hit.
No.
Um,
Anyways, back to the game. Anything else?
yeah. Um,
Seems like we're trying to talk about anything but this matchup.
yeah. I mean,
I think it's going to be the toughest game yet for us, to be honest. The Outlaws look really, really good.
yeah,
And we talked earlier in the season about, like, are they going to figure it out? Like, how long is it going to take? And they've figured it out, and they're gelling really well together. Um, so I think it's going to be our hardest one yet. And I feel like I feel like the Outlaws honestly we're probably going to see them in the finals this year. That's just my opinion right now. Um,
I think I
but
agree
yeah.
with you. Yeah. I don't. I think they've only played the Chaos once, and that was the game where Blaze set the record for saves in a game. Um, let me see when they play again because that feels like that honestly might wind up being the finals preview. Um, oh, they play in Denver. They're the first game of the Denver homecoming on August 1st. Um, so that yeah, because I like we're not an Archers podcast, but man, did the Archers not look good. I would not have had them as a team to miss the playoffs, but yikes. Um, I don't think they're scaring anyone right now. And on the contrast, the chaos, like Blaze had that great quote that we're the team everyone writes off, but no one wants to play. Um, and the Redwoods too have lost four in a row after starting 2-0. Really hope they
Mm.
turn around, one, because that'd help the Cannons, and two, because I do want to see them do well. They've had a
Mhm.
tough couple of years. Um, yeah, I gotta feel like the I mean, yeah, the Outlaws are the number one team in the league and in the West, obviously. So hard to see them not making a good push in the playoffs. And yeah, Casey, like you said, they are scary. They just have like in Bernhardt and O'Neill, they just have players who have physical skills that are really hard to counter. Like Bernhardt is just faster than everyone, and O'Neill basically is like bigger and stronger than everyone. And if a guy can just run by, like it's really hard to cover that. That means you're sliding a bunch more. That means the defense is unsettled. That means Pat Kavanaugh's probably open or Wisnauskas or whoever. And the ball's probably going in the back of the net. And then on the other end, too, McNaney, um, and two, Zach Geddes and Tarafenko. Like Bernhardt's probably he was the fastest offensive player in the league, but defensively, Tarafenko and Geddes are probably like one and two as fastest guys. And with McNaney making so many clean saves, like he just gets the ball going in transition. Yeah, they're a scary, scary team. I'll try to just have fun watching it as a game, but it if it gets as ugly as the Atlas game got, um, this is going to be rough. Um, yeah, do you want to give some score predictions and get out of here, or do you guys have anything else that you want to talk about with the game as well?
Score prediction. Obviously taking the Cannons because they're the best team in the league. 11-10 overtime.
Oh yeah, that's right. We haven't had an overtime game. I would love to see one of those this weekend. Um, Casey?
I want us to win.
Yeah.
Um, Please, boys, prove me wrong. Please make me eat my words. I think that the Outlaws are gonna take it, and I think it's gonna be uh I feel so, I feel like I'm being disloyal by saying this. I think it's gonna be something like a 13-9.
Yeah, I agree with you, Casey. I would love to be proven wrong. That's what I'm doing because I feel like, when we know Ethan Rawls' mom's going to listen to this. I don't know if some players will too. Um,
We
yeah.
love you guys.
Oh yeah, it's not that we
Clearly.
don't like you or believe in you, whatever. But
Well, you don't really believe him.
yeah, I this team is capable of winning any game. I know that, but with
Yeah.
the way that both these teams have been playing recently, um, I'm gonna take the Outlaws as well. Say 14-10. But I hope Jack's right. Um, actually, no.
Yes.
I hope I hope it's the
Any players or anyone associated with the team listening, just remember I'm the only one that stuck with you guys in the hard times. When
listen,
you
What?
when the
sticking with
Cannons
them,
are
all
lifting
right?
that trophy at the end of the year, just remember who didn't run away when things got hard.
We're not running away. We're still doing this podcast, aren't we? I'm not, I don't, listen, if we just blindly pick the cannons every week, then how will people think of us as having integrity?
We're homers. It's a Cannons
Yeah.
podcast.
Listen,
We're not national. We're Cannons.
oh no, listen. Yeah, I'm a homer in the sense that I'm rooting for the Cannons, but I'm not just blindly, I'm not going to be the guy who's like, I'm not picking the Red Sox to win the World Series or the Patriots to win the Super Bowl this year. That's just not looking at how things are laying out in front of us. Now, could we be surprised and proven
Never
wrong?
say never.
Is it impossible? No. Is it, would you make a lot of money if you bet on it? Yes. Um,
Listen, if
We're not,
our
we're not talking
defense,
Sox or Cats though. We're talking the Cannons.
if
Yeah,
our defense
They got a
steps up
shot.
yeah.
and so the Outlaws make far more 1 point goals. I think Graham Bundy has the most 2 point goals in the season on that team, and he's only had three for the whole season. So if we can limit them to their 1 point goals as much as possible and keep them out, they're not going to score a lot of twos. I think that will give us a huge leg up, and we could take it. We could take the
Little
win.
Boston 2 party.
Yeah.
Let's
That'd be
hope so.
nice.
I'm gonna try to quick see the how many twos, if any, McNaney is allowed so far this year, because that feels like um let's see. Oh, you can't. Damn, the app is not super easy to look stuff
Hmm.
up in. Um, let's go back. Oh, the Outlaws will be wearing white shorts, by the way, Jack.
I saw that. Yeah, see, that's fine.
Yeah. Oh,
I
Orange
hate
and
their
white is fine.
jerseys.
I think the Outlaws, the
Also,
black looks so good. It should have been
like
white.
that like it's not that's the other thing. It's like it's not like they both wore white last year, so oh, we have to give them a colored jersey. Like the Outlaws wore exactly. They wore black last year. Why can't they have a white jersey this year?
Oh,
Navy versus white.
yeah, totally. McNamie's allowed 2 2-point goals so far. So let's hope we at least double that on Saturday. Um, all right, yeah, and as well, just I think I've said it already, but I'm going to be down there in Fairfield, so I hope some of you listening in the Western Massachusetts or certainly Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York area, um, will be coming out to Fairfield as well. Say hello if you see me. I'll probably have some signed Cannons cards and other stuff to give away if you want it. Um, and yeah, I think I mean, we'll of course we'll have a watch party as well for those people who are in the Boston area. Um,
3 p.m. Saturday.
yes, 3 p.m. on Saturday. Come to the other games as well if you're in the area. Watch the other games. Cheer on New York losing to California on Friday. Enjoy the fact that it's one of the 2 weekends we got all 8 teams in action. And hopefully we will be recapping the Cannons thumping of the Denver Outlaws on Monday morning for you all. But until then, go Cannons.
Go
Go Cannons.
Cannons.
Boom.
Boom.
Boom.